Hello, welcome back to Accessible Photography with myself, Alistair MacDonald. Today I am doing a review of the camera bag I bought for my recent trip to Asia. And this one turned out to be a really important choice for me, not just because of airline restrictions, but because after being ill for the last couple of years, I simply can't carry the weight that I used to. So this video isn't just about finding a bag that fits on a plane. It's about finding a bag that helps you avoid carrying too much gear in the first place, which I know a lot of you watching this channel will understand. Before this trip, I was using a larger, low-pro bag, and to be honest, I could fill that thing with gear that I might want, and then regret it later when I had to carry it. So for this trip, I knew I'd be dealing with long flights, train journeys. Let's see how it works out. Bus stations, tight connections, and a lot of walking. And on top of that, I had to stay within budget airline carry-on limits, which are getting smaller all the time. Flying out to Asia wasn't budget. I flew out with Qatar Airways, whose website stated that the carry-on baggage must be 50 by 37 by 25 centimetres. That old bag just about fitted that, but only just. And I did get told by someone, just go with it. It's fine. Nobody checks. But I was a bit concerned because in Asia, I was originally booked with a company called Spring Airlines, who were very difficult to communicate with. And they had a limit of 40 by 30 by 20 centimetres and only 7 kilograms. That meant my main camera bag, the Low Pro, was too deep before I'd even put anything in it. I later switched airlines to GX Airlines, which allowed me 55, which is bigger, by 40, which is quite wide, but again, 20 centimetres deep and a 7 kilogram weight. Again, my main bag was just too deep at that point. It comes in at around 28 centimetres. And when you start checking other airlines, it gets even tighter. So, Emirates are 55 by 38 by 20, Wizz Air are 40 by 30 by 20, Ryanair are 40 by 25 by 20, and EasyJet are 45 by 36 by 20, unless you buy extra. So I decided I needed a bag that would fit the smallest limits just now, not the biggest. But honestly, that wasn't the only reason, as I said earlier. The second reason was my health. If I take a big bag, I fill it, and if I fill it, it gets heavy. If it gets heavy, I'll struggle and potentially become ill with my ME on my holiday and completely ruin my time away. And this channel is all about finding ways to keep photography enjoyable, even if you are restricted in what you can do for health and physical reasons. So, after watching far too many YouTube videos, I ended up choosing the Vanguard VEO Range T45M. It's a tactical backpack. Now, it's not the lightest bag in the world when it's empty, but it's compact enough for travel, and it lets me carry the gear that I really need without encouraging me to bring everything. Please also note this is not a new bag on the market, but not by any means. It's been out for several years, but it is still available at quite an affordable price. I also noted that the reviews out there I watched are by people who have literally just unpacked it and are discussing what they see or what they're allowed to say. One video did see someone out and about with the bag, but again, probably on his first day of getting the bag. This video is a review after using it on a 13,400 mile trip, approximately, along with a few outings since I got home. So this will be my honest take on the bag, starting first with the absolute basics. And these are the advertised things. So the bag, this is it. Just got caught up in my computer. The bag is advertised at being 30 by 49 by 19 centimeters, so carry-on compatible for many airlines. Real world size is it's 30 by 44 by 20 to 21, including the straps. And I'm going by my measuring pad here. The camera compartment is 28 by 30 by 13 centimeters. Real world is 22 by 30 by 13 centimeters, or 38 centimeters high if the day pack inside is taken out. The day pack compartment is 28 by 14 by 13 millimeters. They say real world is 27 by 16 and 11 centimeters deep, narrowing to 8 centimeters deep because it tapers in at the top here and also tapers that way. So according to the specs, the bag is designed to carry a DSLR or mirrorless camera, several lenses up to around 200 millimeters f2.8 size, a 13-inch laptop, a tripod, and all the usual accessories. As the actual inside depth is only around 13 centimeters, it will take my Nikon ZF easily, but if I had items to the front pocket and the advertised 13-inch laptop at the back, it reduces the depth by around 2.5 centimeters. So beware of overpacking. I'm going to show you that right now. So flip those over here. Open up the bag. Careful, open it. So the camera sits in here like this. I've got a small camera. So I've got my little 360 in there. And when that's pushed, it kind of pushes the lens out this way. So if I take that back out, it can sit in really neatly. But I'm not sure if you can see this, but see how close it is to the top of the bag. Okay, so you've got a zip there, and it fits, but it's not brilliant. Inside here, I have put my 12-inch laptop. So it's no MacBook Air, it's my works laptop. And I slide that into there, and what that does is that takes in about 2.5 centimeters there. So thankfully, when this is closing, it misses the top of the camera until you start zipping up. Now it misses the top of the camera there, but it is taking up a lot of room. And I did find when I was away, I configured this bag differently, and the camera wasn't sitting over there, which is by another pocket, which I'll show you in a second. It was sitting in the middle, and it did cause a problem. So beware of that. The depth isn't great. I'll tell you this, there's no way on earth it would take a D1X or similar camera to this. It just wouldn't go in. Even if I take this out. So that's a DSLR. They don't state what DSLR you want to take. It would go in, but you're pushing it out hard. I would not want to be walking around with that there, not at all. But how many people use something like this these days? So it is a little bit on the tight side, but what I'll say is it's better to have the camera snug than rattling around. Taking this out again. So inside, the dividers are fully adjustable, so you can set it up however you want or remove them completely and use it as a normal backpack. There's also a removable top section, this bit here, which is called the day pack, and that can be used when it's in. Use it for personal items, extra camera gear, or just everyday stuff. And that is accessed, as I showed earlier, from the front here, like that. So the main access is from the back for security. And the good thing about this bag is that the straps are on the bag and not on this. There are some bags out there where the straps are actually attached to this panel here. So all your heavy camera gear is relying on the strength of one zipper. So I was quite pleased that this is actually there. If you want, let's just zip this up again. When you're out and about, you can use this side pocket here to access your camera when it's set up and configured the way I've got it. So your camera would go there, like so. And zip up like that. You can also configure the whole bag for access from the top here. So if you take out this day pack, which is literally just velcroed in, you take that out and you can reconfigure it, maybe have your camera sitting towards the top. You can access from there for the camera, and then when you want other things, your lenses and bits and pieces, you can use the access from the back. So on the outside, there are lots of these webbing loops. This is what makes it the tactical bag. And these are so you can attach accessories such as the tripod holder, which is sitting here, and the bottle holder, which is sitting here. You may have noticed I've got a couple of Peak Design tabs on the bag, and the reason for that was when I'm using a tripod I don't want to have the strap, and I have a terrible habit of sticking these in a pocket and maybe them falling out. I've already lost one strap. I could put these in the pocket, but I just want them where I can find them easily, so just attach them through the bag so I can see where they are. And this is purely for me because I tend to lose things, and it's just a handy way to know where your strap is at all times. So yeah, I do like the bag. I like it a lot. It has its little niggles, but it's got a lot of space for what I want without being too heavy. And that's the most important thing for me, is not being too heavy. When I picked this camera case up just now and put it into the car, and again when I picked it out the car, I thought, you know what? It's still heavy because this is not a light lens. This is my 50-400 Tamron, and I can fit it straight in with the hood on, pointing out the way. I suppose I could put the lens cap back on if I can find it. Remember I said about losing things? I'm always losing things. I've got these Kent Faith magnetic filters and lens hood. Really, really good. Back to the bag, back to the bag. So that goes in nice. It's in there, it's cool. What was I saying? Yeah, it felt heavy. When I'm picking it up, even with that, when I'm picking it up like this, that's heavy. It really is a heavy bag. Get that out the poo. But as soon as you put it on your back, even with the tripod on, once this goes on the back because of these shoulder pads, I'm not feeling the weight. It's quite incredible. It helps that I'm in quite a cool environment and I'm not overexerting. When I was in China and it was really hot, my friend Glenn carried the bag for me. I'll show you that just now, because it was just too much for me out there. But at home, it's really light, and I don't really need the waist strap. The waist strap kind of gets in the way at times, but once I put it on, I actually forgot it was there. And I'm not really sure if it's supposed to be above the belly or below the belly. Somebody tell me. Oh yeah, don't have a big belly. So it feels really, really light. And even with the tripod on the side, it's not flapping about, it's not bashing me in the head, and yet it feels comfortable. It doesn't have the strap, but does it have the straps that come across the waist? I think it's the bigger version of this. It has a strap that comes across here. If it had it when it arrived, I'd taken it off. I don't think it has it. It's got these adjusters here for adjusting it on your shoulder. I find these flappy bits get a bit annoying, but they're there. They do a job, it's important. I could probably just find a way of tying those up out the way. It'd be nice and neat. Apart from that, it's fine. So as I say, once it's on the back, it's actually really, really comfortable and feels really light. And that's a huge, huge benefit to the likes of me. Now, admittedly, I'm only carrying the one big lens, a tiny lens in the camera body, and a few bits and pieces in the wee spare pouch thing. It's got a name, I'll give you that now. When I was traveling, I had all my camera gear in this, everything I wanted to take with me, and I'll show you that shortly, along with a few bits and pieces for the flight. So the bag was heavy, but again, it was comfortable on my back, and I was able to make it through Doha Airport Transit Lounge. It was absolutely huge. One side to the other, it just seemed to go on forever. I wouldn't say I didn't break a sweat, because I did, but it was comfortable when I was wearing it, because I didn't have a trolley all the time, and when I was wearing it was very comfortable. So it's a thumbs up for that side of things, for this. Really good. What a lovely day. So the bag is really well padded. Every surface has padding on it, which kind of adds to that little bit of extra weight. It is also water resistant and does come with a rain cover. The harness system, the back here, is nicely cushioned, and that helps take a lot of the weight. It's also designed to let air through so that you don't sweat too much. So the back of here in particular is really well padded. So when you're carrying it, there's a lot of airflow coming through it, which is really, really cool. And even the waist strap has that same sort of aerated padding around here. So have a quick look at the straps here. You've got a waist strap with adjustable adjustable straps, I suppose you'd call them. There's a couple of pockets. So this one's a little bit deeper than the one on this side. This would probably take a few coins and bits and pieces. That you might be able to add a couple of, I don't know, what I did was I used it for this. So that's my 360 camera, and it just pops into there quite happily. On the side, you've got these removable straps, and that's for holding the tripod in place. There's a pocket here, which I found is not very deep, but it will take a passport. And even in a folder, it will take a passport, and it just sits in there and then tucks into the top of here, fits perfectly. I wouldn't keep it there all the time because it is easy to get to, although because it's small, it's difficult to get out. This pocket here, I have really no idea what this pocket is all about. It's got a couple of mesh pockets in here, so you could probably put large lens filters there. You could probably easily put a iPad into there. iPad into there, because again, it's very padded. So it's really safe to put something in there, unless something hits it really hard, but it's quite safe. So that's handy. You've got another pocket just in here. Again, it's quite thin. It can take a few bits and pieces. So when I was actually say in the airport and the bag is literally in front of me on my trolley, I could put my travel documents, including passport, there, so I knew where they were and I could get to them quickly. and then I could put them safely away somewhere else later. Around here, as I say, you've got the access to the camera, but in there, there's also another little pocket. Again, quite small, but it's there, and it does the job. Whatever something small in there. I will point out I have added the tripod to one side and the bottle to the other, and I'll come back to that in a second. So one thing that mattered to me on this trip was security. Years ago, I lost a large amount of cash to a pickpocket in Barcelona, so now I'm always cautious when I'm travelling. Some companies like PackSafe make bags with built-in anti-theft features, but because of that, they are quite expensive. So with this bag, I added my own simple security. I fitted small loops to the zips so I could attach padlocks. So in this bag, this pouch here, I've got a couple of loops. You probably can't see it very well. A couple of loops here that actually belong off the camera. So when I've added my wee tabs like this, what's this, Peak Design, I'm forgetting the name, the Peak Design tabs onto my camera, I took these metal loops off, and with that I can add a small padlock into there, so that becomes secure. This one I can't secure. For this pouch here, I felt that was one that was very risky. I didn't have the camera like this on the big trip, but I still didn't want somebody having access to this pocket. So I put two, basically keyring loops together, and then put a bigger padlock on there to hold those into place. It meant there was access in here, but you can't get anything out. If it's big, like I've got an iPad in there, you're not going to get it out that gap there. So that was secured that way. I can't secure this one. So really I just wanted to secure that one there, this pocket here, and this pocket here. And that was me. It's not going to stop a determined thief, but it will stop someone quietly opening the bag on the flight or in a crowded station. I was especially thinking about my long haul flights when the bag is in the overhead locker and I'm trying to sleep. And the reason I was worried about that was there had been stories of, even on long haul flights, thieves getting on board and just going through bags that are up in the overhead. So I really didn't want to suffer that. And also, if there was ever a time where, as a lone traveller, I might have to say to someone, can you watch my bag for a few minutes? Which is a terrible thing to do, but I'm security conscious, but I'm also very trusting. I really don't know why that is. And I have in the past said, can you watch my bags when they go to the loo? But if they're secured, that makes a huge difference. So as I said, I'd come back to this later. The bag comes with a tripod holder that I showed you and a bottle pouch. You can attach them to the sides or the front, but I did find that the webbing on one side to be rather tight at first. That's this one here. So if I take this off again, and it's really strongly velcroed in place. So it's designed to go through these loops with ease. You push it down through two of those. You then attach that bit to there, and then this flap underneath, and then that secures the whole thing. So I'll just show you from the side. It attaches with a little bit of Velcro there, or hook and loop system, and then underneath. But what I found was, if you got the bottle there, when you put it over, it gets in the way. So I really wanted it at the side. I wanted the tripod on this side, and I wanted the bottle on this side. The problem I found was the middle loop won't fit at all. It just will not go in. This one here, when I first got the bag, I couldn't get it in here either. It just wouldn't go. But now that it's been used for a little while, I'm getting it through. But it is really tight. And I just attach that there, flip that underneath. I had thought about adding extra pouches for small lenses, but in the end I decided that would just make the bag harder to open. However, one thing that I do want to add is a small first aid kit, which is something I never used to think about, but after this trip it's something that I want with me at all times now. Watch the videos if you want to know why. Inside, the dividers are very secure, which is good, but the hook and loop system is very strong and you have to be careful when pulling them apart. So don't yank it out, peel it, take hold of the Velcro, the hook and loop system, and pull. And the reason being is the stitching on one of my dividers gave way when I reconfigured the bag, which was a bit disappointing, but I think that was partly my fault for pulling too hard. So that's what happened. The Velcro is, sorry, the hook and loop system is coming away on this one. And looking at the stitching, I don't think it was probably the best. The other one is absolutely fine, but the stitching along here looks like it was a bit dubious in the first place. Generally speaking, I would say the quality of the bag is really good, and that is a bit of an exception. So don't be put off by that. But reconfiguring this, when these bits in the inside, the main pads, they really stick hard. Very, very hard. And like all bags, they get a bit mucky after a little while. You can tell this isn't a brand new bag because there's all sorts of muck coming out of this. Because that type of system in there, it catches things and holds it, so little bits of tree debris and so forth just sticks. And as I said before, the harness system is very comfortable, but there are lots of straps and cords, which is great for when you're hiking. You can adjust it properly, but when you just want to carry the bag, there's a lot of gubbins here that gets in the way. But that, though, is just a small complaint from me. Final thoughts. For me, and you'd be glad that this is the final thoughts. For me, this bag worked well, really, really well on my Asia trip. It fitted airline limits, it forced me to carry less gear, and it was comfortable enough that I could actually enjoy the journey. And that's really the key point for this channel. Photography should be enjoyable, not something that leaves you exhausted before you've even taken the first picture. If you've had health problems, or if you struggle with weight, or if you just want to travel lighter, then choosing the right bag can make a huge difference to your photographic experience. In the next video, I'll show you what I actually packed and how I packed this bag for the Asia tour. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time on Accessible Photography. And it might be a bit more polished next time. Bye for now. Right, let's put this one away.